All right, so this week we're mixing it up a little. Rather than jumping into a new topic, I'm going to spend this week's video and tutorial focusing on the final paper. Just to quickly recap before we get into that, last week we looked at second language acquisition. The quiz that covers first and second language acquisition is this Tuesday, March 9th. That's the day after I record and post this video. And as ever, practice quizzes are available to help you prepare. Okay, so the final exam for this course consists of an open book quiz and a final paper. The quiz will be much like the ones we've been having throughout this semester and will focus mainly on the historical linguistics module. It's scheduled for the day of our last class, that's April 15th. The paper is a sort of take-home project, and it's due that same day, April 15th. It's what I like to call a connections paper. In it, you're going to identify some resource and present it with relation to two of the modules in this course. And the resource can be just about anything. It can be a website, a book, an organization, a video series, or television, or streaming, whatnot, whatever. All that's needed is that it connects to two of the topics we have discussed in this class, or will discuss. Okay, and those topics range all over. So just as a reminder, here's the list. We've talked about language classification, indigenous languages, sociolinguistics, psycholinguistics, first language acquisition, second language acquisition, and coming up we're going to talk about writing systems, communication in non-human animals, and historical linguistics. So this assignment is your chance to reach beyond the textbook, beyond my videos, and connect this course of ours to something out there that interests you. It should be fun. Of course, it's an academic paper, so it's not only fun. You're going to be framing your discussion in terms of the facts and frameworks that have been introduced in the textbook and in our tutorial discussions and in these videos. Show me that you've learned this stuff and that you can connect it to something from the world out there. It's not just learning without any connection to anything. I've posted an assignment description on eClass. It's in the final exam section. And it includes a detailed grading rubric, among other things. This rubric is worth studying. It's the actual guidelines that I will use when I'm grading the assignment. So it should give you a really good idea of where to focus your time and energy. And also a bit of a checklist once you've finished writing to make sure that you've covered everything. So have a look through that assignment description and start thinking about what you would like to use as your external resource. Once you've decided the external resource, you need to claim it. One rule for this is that I don't want any two people to use the same one. So go to the discussion forum and find the thread labeled Final Paper Topics. Check that the resource you're thinking about hasn't already been chosen, and if it hasn't, post a reply to that thread that clearly identifies the resource you have in mind. Use a URL if there's a website associated with your resource or some other unique identifier appropriate to whatever type of resource it is. I'll confirm your selection by email and you can get started. I'm hoping that the ideas that are posted early can serve as inspiration for anyone who's having difficulty thinking of something. There are about 5 weeks between now and when the paper is due, so that should give you plenty of time to cast about for ideas, settle on something, and then write the paper. After watching this video and reading the assignment info, you are absolutely welcome to reach out to me with any questions you have, clarification or checking your ideas, that kind of thing. And of course, this week's tutorial will largely be given over to discussing what I'm looking for in this paper. Okay, so that's it for this week's video. Do the quiz on Tuesday. Start thinking about the resource that you would like to use for your final paper. And in this week's tutorial, we'll be talking about it. And also, don't forget the time change. It's this coming weekend that Alberta springs forward, meaning we go from Mountain Standard Time, UTC minus 7 hours, to Mountain Daylight Time, UTC minus 6 hours. If you're in a different time zone from Alberta, and you don't have the time change happening this weekend, you may need to adjust your times for future quizzes and tutorials. But remember, quiz 3 on Tuesday is before this time change. Okay, that's all for now. See you online.